Self-awareness is a skill that will never go out of style. It is a skill that will serve you in all of your most important endeavors, whether it be in business, relationships, fitness, anything like that. Knowing yourself, knowing.
Hi there, I'm Charly, your online business manager. My goal is to assist small to medium business owners build their businesses with a focus on using the internet and online technologies in an appropriate and cost-effective manner. People hire me to take the stress out of managing their businesses and allow themselves to focus on what they do best. Today, I have a very special guest. I'm so pleased to have this lady on. This is Amy Lenius, an amazing and caring woman who has a holistic approach to business and life. Amy is one of the Next Level University team members, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with her today about all things business and self-improvement. Hello, Amy.
Charly, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You are most welcome. Now, Amy, I gave you a little bit of an intro there. I would love for you to tell my viewers and listeners more about yourself and why I asked you to come and talk to us.
Well, I'm so grateful that you did. So my name is Amy Lenius, and I partner with a company down in the States. I myself am in Canada. You're in Australia. How amazing is that, by the way, that we can do that? I
Right?
just get so excited about that all the time, how much we can connect from such distances. And I partner with a company down in the States, Next Level University. You have maybe had Kevin or Alan on the show,
Both,
or are you going to?
both.
Yeah. Both of them amazing. So you know about how wonderful they are and their mission spoke to me so deeply because I myself have been through this whole journey of business, of healing my own chronic illness and all of these things. And when I moved through those spaces, the word holistic always stuck with me because everything you are doing in life affects everything else, and everything in your external environment affects your internal environment. Your work affects your marriage affects your parenthood, all of those other things, they're also connected. And that's what holistic really means. And so everything that I have worked towards, whether it be partnering with certain companies, how I speak into others' lives, or how I even run my personal life, it is all very much based on having holistic success. And so it was just such an aligned partnership to go and work with Kevin and Alan and be their MC and do some public speaking for them, help them out with group coaching as well. And now I do coaching through that space too. And that's where you and I met, is through that space, through Kevin and Alan. You've come into our beautiful community of self-improvement, and we love focusing especially on self-belief and self-worth and how they can help everyone in their holistic aspect of their life, whether it be their health, their wealth, life in general, or their love life as well. So we're very much about holistic practices there.
That is a wonderful introduction. Thank you very much. Everything Amy has said there is absolutely true. That is exactly how we met each other. I met Amy through the community, and we were talking the other day, and I said, I'd love to have you on so that people can learn more about you and what you do. And maybe you could share some of your wisdom with my listeners, because I think what Amy talks about is very aligned with what I talk about. I talk about things like self-worth. Sorry, I shouldn't and ah, and I'm really working on it. Your mindset, having growth mindsets, making sure that you are aligned within yourself so that you can do the best thing for your business. And it's not just doing the best thing for your business, because you've got to have everything else, all your ducks in a row is how I call it. I don't like calling it work-life balance, by the way. I always think it's a bit of a bunk, that term, because nothing is ever really balanced. It might be harmony. And this is probably a really good point for us to get into having a chat, because one of the things we went through in group coaching was, your core beliefs, your core values, and I can't think of the third one because it's late at night and my brain starts to shut down. But that got me really thinking about, it's not about being in balance. I liked the term harmony. So why don't we start there, Amy? And
I would love to. I'm on your end as well. I believe balance is BS. I really do. It's this I don't know, it's this dream that we all chase. Oh, if I could only balance out my work life and my personal life, if I could only balance out being a parent and a business owner. Well, you're going to be chasing that dream forever because balance doesn't exist. You can't do these things equally all the time, which is what balance means. You can't be equally a parent and a business owner in one moment. It's way more empowering to say the word harmony because you can flow in and out of them. So right now, I'm giving you the best that I can give you, 100% of what my 100% is right now to give you. I'm not parenting at the moment. I'm flowing into work mode. I'm flowing into communication. I'm flowing into my passion and purpose right now, which is speaking into other people's lives. And my parent hat isn't on. It's always on, let's be honest. As a parent, that's one that's always on. But I have to be able to discern what hat needs to be worn in what moment, especially as, I mean, all you multi-passionate entrepreneurs and families and married couples and all of those things. When you have all of those things in your life, the idea of balancing may seem exciting, but it's so overwhelming. Whereas being empowered to know that you're allowed to take off certain hats so you can fully focus into one. And then this morning when this interview is done, so it's late for you, it's 7 a.m. for myself. After this, I will flow back into family mode. We'll all go have tea on the deck together and reconnect. And so it's a harmony of flowing in and out. And then you're able to assess, okay, which one of those pieces in my holistic, my life, my relationships, my work, my passion, my purpose, my hobbies, my parenting, where do I feel like I have a good momentum going? I love using the analogy of the spinning plates. So picture me in the center and I'm holding a bunch of spinning plates. Well, right now I'm really focused on spinning my passion, purpose, and work plate. That one's really spinning right now. And so my parenting one might be slowing down, but it's still going. It's still spinning. It just might be slower than this one. So when this is done, I will stop my focus here and I'll go spin my family plate. But the most important thing there is the center pillar is you. And so at the end of the day, when we're chasing balance, we tend to lose ourselves or lose sight of what really matters to spin those plates is us. And so we stop focusing on ourselves and then we crash and burn. And what happens when we crash and burn? All of the other plates crash with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I think you had some of those challenges early, like as a younger woman, didn't you? And that was what led you to here. What brought you to do all of this? Why don't we go through there as well?
Oh my goodness, it is a journey of many pivots, but all make sense in their own way. I started off actually with very little hopes for myself and for my future. I came from a space of chronic illness and actually being very sick in my early teenage years and in my early 20s. And it took a kind of just moment of clarity for me to decide that, hey, I need to take more action. I need to be able to take my health into my own hands and do what I need to do to try and get a little bit better. And so I really learned to listen to myself, advocate for myself. I became more empowered. I grew my self-belief. This is all without knowing it. This is looking in hindsight now. I can see how much my self-belief grew through the process of just healing myself. My background is in anatomy and physiology. So anatomy and physiology education combined with being super sick and then doing what I need to do to move through that space taught me so much. And one of them was really stumbling along this holistic view of that your external environment deeply affects your internal environment, and your internal environment, how you're feeling, thinking, all of those things really gets brought out in your external environment. And so I was so focused on healing my physical body at one point, my mental health hadn't caught up. And so I learned very quickly that your mentality and your thoughts, your feelings, all of those things, your personal development really go hand in hand with your physical health. One can only heal as far as the other. If you're feeling good physically but not mentally, your physical health is going to go down, and vice versa. You can only get your physical health as far as your mental health and your self-belief and self-worth are going to allow you. And so then that kind of stumbled into that. I became a mother. You instantly go into self-sacrificing mode. You stop taking care of yourself, learned some hard lessons there as well. And then diving into just learning to share my story and speak. that's when all of this really happened, was when I got asked to step out of the clinic that I was working in and step into more spaces of education and speaking. And I realized that back in the day, if you'd have told me I had to go on stage and speak, I would have been like, oh no, never. But as soon as someone said, well, you could talk about this specific thing, about women's health, about women's holistic health and all of this stuff, I was like, oh, I have so much to say. I have so much to say about that. Oh my gosh, yes, give me a microphone. Thank you. And so I started speaking that way. And people were really blown away about the fact that I would bring in the mental health aspect of it, and your self-belief and your self-worth and the external environment. I'm not just talking about their bits on the inside. And so that expanded. And then I got in touch with Kevin and Alan. I had my own podcast for a little while. That went on hold when we moved, actually, which we moved a couple of years ago now. But now I've just moved into so many other things. I almost don't feel the need to pick up the podcast again because I get to speak in so many other avenues now. But connecting with Kevin and Alan just through that realm, and then starting to coach with Alan and him giving me this moment of such permission of, Amy, you need to start really getting back into focusing on you, because what if what is best for you is what is best for everyone else? And I was like, oh, yes, because when I crash and burn, everything crashes and burns, and then it's so overwhelming to get everything going again and picking up that momentum. And so that really just kind of re-kickstarted that piece of me as well. And so just understanding that when I crash, everything else crashes, and to serve myself first is not selfish. It's one of the most selfless things I can do so that I can keep serving. And so it's one of my favorite questions to ask people is, are you giving what is best of you on the regular, or are you giving just what is left? What is just left of you at the end of everything that you do, because you're not repouring back into yourself? And so that has just, I don't know, opened up so many beautiful avenues of speaking for me, and the way I connect with people, and the way I coach people, and the way I help people.
Yeah, I really, really love that. What was it? What if what is best for you is best for everyone? I really love that. And you mentioned it, that mums and sometimes dads give so much of themselves to the family and to bringing the money through the door and keeping the food on the table and whatever else needs to be done, that the relationship just falls apart. There is nothing there. And at the end of the day, you don't want to talk to the kids. The kids, you're tired. You just need time for yourself. But no, they need attention, so that you're not getting your full attention. They're not getting the best that you can give them. You can't be present for them because you can't be present for yourself.
That's right.
Do you find, and you mentioned that you touched on it, but is there a balance there? And again, that word comes up, between working out what is best for you and what becomes selfish, because there must be a point at which it does become selfish or too much. What do you have to do on that one?
So I deeply believe that actually that advice isn't for everybody. I used to maybe think that it was, but I don't, because some people do take a lot of time for themselves at the expense of others sometimes. So that's maybe not the best advice for them. For someone like me, who's a very serving heart, who is very dedicated to the just positive life of those around her, and to a detriment, when you're over serving at a detriment, that's when that advice is very applicable. And so if that is you, and you feel like you're burning to the ground sometimes, or you're putting too many eggs in one basket, and that basket's going to burn down, and then it affects all your other baskets or plates. I guess we used the plate analogy in the beginning. That would make more sense. And we talk about this a lot at Next Level University, but it's in the day-to-day that matters. So some people say, well, I can't get away to the spa every weekend. I can't go and have massages every day, or all of these things that I need for me. It's like, well, those are amazing. If you have access to doing that even once in a while, absolutely treat yourself and go do those things. But what's really important is everything compounds on a day-to-day level. So if you are not checking in and taking a moment for yourself every day, then it is going to compound over time against you, versus if you take a moment every day, it's going to compound for you. And you're not going to feel as easy to fall into those states of overwhelm. And it's as simplistic as finding something that feels good for you. It's a check-in with yourself. I love getting people to just ask themselves a few times a day to start, what do I need in this moment? What do I need in this moment? Because the answer is very simple sometimes. Sometimes it's like, oh, I need a glass of water. I haven't had enough water today. Or, oh, I just need to get up and move. Or I need to step outside. Or for me, it's like, I could use a hot cup of tea. And I take that tea time and I don't let it be a habitual, I move through it without intention. I go, I pick my mug first. Okay, what mug feels good to me in this moment? This morning it was my black one with the little heart on it. I go and I smell my teas. What tea am I going to use to nourish my body in this moment? What do I feel like? I make the tea, I drink it while it's hot, and it's a whole little ritual instead of just making a tea and going through the motions. It's my moment of self-care. And the difference there is just intention. So it's not this big elaborate thing. It's something I would do every day regardless, but the intention behind this moment of self-care is what really kind of puts it over the edge of something that I can do daily for myself versus just a habitual go through the motions. So then what is something like that that you can do for yourself every day?
And I think, because I know I ended up there, and when we started through the group coaching, that was one of the things that I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where to start. And that was one reason I came into the group coaching, because I knew I needed something. I just had no idea. Absolutely no idea. I do now. I have more of an idea. I'm still a long way, long way, but we're getting there. But so many business owners, particularly women, but business owners get to a point of, I don't know what I need anymore. I don't know what to do anymore. And there are a couple of small things they could actually just try for themselves. One of the things that I like to recommend to people is take your shoes off and go and step on the grass. Make sure it's nice grass and not, the dead stuff that we have here in Australia in summer, because that's not fun. But go and it's crunchy. It's crunchy, all right. But it won't mean much to you. But if I was to say bindy eyes, there'll be a whole heap of group of Australians going, ow. But that's something that I like to do myself, is just go outside, put my feet on the cold grass or on the cool grass, and let my toes actually sink into it. And then I can work out what I want, because that's a reset for me.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other things that you would recommend for people in terms of when they get to that point of, what do I need in this moment? I have no idea. Is there something they can do to trigger something, or trick themselves, or reset that thinking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting outside is always a good answer. Always. The second we can step outside into fresh air, get our feet on the ground, and just have a moment for ourselves where we're grounding, we're surrounded by natural environment, and we can just take a breath, it does help clear our thoughts for the moment and can get us more centered and can help us with that internal dialogue and help us get connected to that internal dialogue of what we need. But I have found that it's actually it's practice. It's like building a muscle, because typically if you are not used to this kind of action or this kind of habit of, okay, what do I need in this moment? Maybe you're not even used to talking to yourself. So instantly your brain is going to reject you. It's going to be like, this is stupid. Why? We don't do this. We don't need to do this. You're fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding, keep working, keep doing what makes you comfortable. All of those things, your brain is going to fight you on it, because it's not your natural state. It's not a natural habit for you. It's not something that you have built into yet or shown your brain that it's not ridiculous. It's safe to do. Your brain's always trying to protect you from things that are new, right? In case they're dangerous. And so even something as simple as this, you're going to try and talk yourself out of it. And so then it's more just kind of having that dialogue of, nope, brain, this is something that I want to do right now. What do I need in this moment? And you just ask again. And as you get in the habit of it, you'd be surprised of what answers actually come up. And it's really important to honor those answers. I know so many women where they're like, okay, well, I have to do laundry. I have to do all of this. I have to get back to my to-do list. My kids need a snack. And that's their answers that's running through their brains. And it's like, okay, pause. Tune into yourself for a moment, because again, those are all external things for other people. That's not what you're asking yourself right now. It's what do you need in this moment? And then again, oh, I have to get back to these emails, messages, so and so, get back to WhatsApp. It's like, no, pause. What do I physically, mentally, emotionally need in this moment? And sometimes it's a hug. Sometimes, especially the multitasking of us all, it's, oh my gosh, when was the last time I went pee? I'm going to like negate this need for a minute just to fold an extra couple pieces of laundry first, or to get back to a couple emails first. Well, now you're putting your body into a state of stress when you could just like pause, go do the thing your body's telling you to do. So the answers are sometimes very simplistic. And I always find that those are the best ones. So honor those really simplistic, basic needs that you're telling yourself when you get that answer back, and just allow the complex ones to kind of fall away and get used to honoring the simplistic day-to-day needs. And that's a good way to start.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's yeah, that works really well. And I've got to say, there's things that I've learned over the last, is it 12 weeks?
9 weeks, I believe. No, it's more than that, because the connection calls with myself. So yes, it is 12 weeks, 6 and 6.
Yeah. Yeah, 12 weeks. It's been a journey. It's been really good. I also like how we habit stack, and I think that's actually a really good thing for business owners, busy parents, anyone to work on. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, habit stacking for sure. It's funny. So we're talking about group coaching. Charly just went through our group coaching program. We have one more call though, I think, right, with me? We do. So exciting. And so in group coaching, we're all about teaching how to just stack daily and how to really leverage that compound effect. And learning to habit stack is such a superpower, especially for the multitasker, the busy, trying to conquer the world in a day type personality. Because if you're already doing something habitually every day, if you can add in something to that habit, you're going to win. It is going to be so much easier to incorporate that habit. So say one of your daily habits is brushing your teeth in the morning, but you want to also start doing some sort of morning mindset practice, affirmations, something where you read to yourself, talk to yourself. Well, you could put your positive morning affirmations on your bathroom mirror and do them to yourself while you're brushing your teeth, so that it's not taking extra time in your morning. You're leveraging time that you're already taking doing something else. And so it's easier to not talk yourself out of it. You're already doing the one thing. You can add in this other thing with ease and not sacrifice any more time. Because how often are we like, okay, I want to add in this new thing, but I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm so busy. I don't have time. How often do we say that? And so being able to leverage the time you're already using is so powerful. So I love leveraging the way I learn. So we do book club together, you and I, Charly, we go to a book club. I will listen to the audio version of the book while I multitask, while I do the laundry, while I'm answering emails, while I am typically doing dishes or my kitchen. That's one for me where I'll put a podcast on, or I'll put the audio book on and do my kitchen. That's a big one for me. I almost struggle to do the kitchen now if I don't have something going in my ear. I feel less motivated. But so things like that I love stacking my learning, and I love stacking any kind of mindset practice or things with what I'm already doing, because I am absolutely the type who would be like, I don't need the mindset practice this morning. I am fine. I'm too busy. I have so many things to do. I don't need to do that. And so for me to stack that intentional time just mentally for myself, it's so much easier to do while I'm already doing something else.
And I also think you then get the extra reward for yourself because you've done it, and you can pat yourself on the back and say, I've done this. This is something I've achieved today. And it's something that comes up for me a lot when we were talking about it, and when it gets spoken about. It's part of that habit. And there's this guy, Navy guy, he was giving an address. He's like, if you do one thing in the day, make your bed.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you do in the morning is make your bed, because when you get home and your day has gone to pot and nothing's gone the way it is, you can come home, you can look at your made bed and go, I did that. Mm-hmm. I made my bed. And that's that sort of thing. Is at the end of the day, when you go back through and look at your list of things, it's like, I did all that. That's actually really amazing. I did want to highlight one of the things I needed to do was start walking. When am I going to have time to do it? I'm too busy. It's too hard. It hurts too much. So I put an earphone in. I only put one in. I always leave one out so that I can hear what's going on around me. I queue up 3 or 4 podcasts and off I go. And I catch up on all my podcasts while I'm doing my walk. It's getting to the point now that I'm walking enough that I actually finish all my podcasts and have the end of the podcast, end of the walk with nothing on. I've got to fix that.
Yeah, you got to add in another one. Do something. Get in the audiobook, something. That's amazing. And I do a quick shout out to you. Honestly, Charly, you were one of our absolute stars through group coaching with your tracking and with your habits. And oh my gosh, just the incredible discipline that it can take to start moving your body every day is really something special. And I know you've seen the amount of benefits of that through this time. And I'm so inspired and I'm so proud of you. It's just been such a beautiful thing to witness.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. It's it was a long time in coming. And like I said, I knew I needed something. I just didn't know what it was. And hey, you guys were it.
Well, I'm so grateful to have you with us.
And I think that also comes down to something else that we could probably talk about right here is like you keep your eyes open for opportunity, be ready. The thing that I had to do was to admit that I needed help. I didn't know what the help was. I had no idea. All I knew is that things weren't right. Things weren't working the way I wanted them to work. I would say I wasn't overly happy. It's not that I was sad, but I wasn't overly happy. I knew I could be better. And when the opportunity presented itself, I went, yeah, let's do it. Could it have gone bad? Yeah, could have gone bad, but it didn't because, hey, look who I met. But what have you found that throughout your life as well, Amy? Is it just that mindset of I need help or I'm open to looking at things? Have you got something there you could share with us?
I do. I have always, actually, I'm very lucky. I've been very blessed to not have the gene of stubbornness, not ask for help. I am all about it. I love collaboration. I love teamwork. I love having a mentor, a coach. If I could have a therapist right now, I would. I would love to find an aligned therapist. Like, I love the idea of having mentorship and coaches and help and guidance. And I have never come across anybody who has been upset at the fact that they asked for help when they needed it. It's typically the opposite. They regret that they didn't ask for help sooner. Now, is it important who you get help from? Absolutely. I deeply believe it should not just be from anybody. I do believe that it is really important that this person speaks into your life in a way that feels good to you, that they lift you up, that they empower you, that they tell you the hard truth when you need to hear it, that they are aligned with you, your vision, your journey, and they are absolutely speaking into that, regardless of their beliefs or their personal opinions on what success means. I think they need to work with you in what success means to you because it is very different to all of us. And there's so many incredible, even free spaces out there that you can start dipping your toes if you are shy about asking for help or shy about getting mentorship or things. There's so many just beautiful spaces that have been created over the last few years that are a great place to kind of dip your toes into, to feel that kind of community, that kind of support and get help. But a simplistic but powerful tool to have in your mind at all times when you're asking for help is, would I trade places with this person? So if you're asking for marital advice from your uncle who's been divorced 10 times,
Maybe
is
not.
that the best place? Would you trade places with this person based on this topic? Probably not. So would you trade places? Yes, with this person? Do they have a result that you want and they can authentically share with you how they can help you get there?
I think also it's important to remember that as you grow and as your experience expands, the person who is helping you today may not be the right person to help you in 6 months. And 2 things on that. One, we ourselves need to recognize that and say it's time for us to move on. The other side of that is, if that person is the right person for you, they'll be telling you well before then that you need to find someone else, or hey, listen, let's find you someone else to work with, because we're stretching what I can do with you here, how I can help. Not that we're going to stop helping you, but yeah, you will outgrow, you do outgrow your coaches, you do outgrow your mentors, and that's okay. That's part of it.
Oh, I agree. I agree so much. And I think that's the sign of a good mentor of, hey, here's what I can help you with. And when you evolve from this, you're going to need someone like this. I think that's really, really powerful. And that's why I love collaboration too, because if you're looking for more soft skills, personal development, learning to protect your peace and have a more holistic life and, incorporate it with your health and things, you're like, I would be the person for that in NLU compared to someone like Alan. Alan is business coach. He is going to teach you hard skills. And what I love about Alan's coaching is he is so gifted that he can incorporate both. So he deeply understands that you succeeding in your business, he is still going to touch base with you on your health, your love, all of these other things, and make sure that you are still very centered. But he is going to help you with wealth and business and all of these other things, those hard skills that I'm not naturally drawn to that. I can help you find purpose and passion and help you find who you need to excel and what you need in all of these things. Like, I deeply believe in teaching people to find their fulfillment and helping all of that. And I do believe I have the skills to do that. But then there's other people who can go and actually help you with business and those hard skills. Charly, you yourself are very gifted at that. And so I love that there are so many avenues for people. So if you need business coaching, here's what you need. Maybe your personal development and your personal alignment and everything are really in check and you're doing really well there. Then you need someone who's going to help you with business. But if you're extremely proficient in business and excelling and all of those hard skills, and you need some personal development, some personal awareness and self-understanding, self-belief, self-worth, that pillar is so important as well. You do need to come over here and work on that pillar, because it will hinder you, just like physical health with mental health. Hard skills and soft skills go together very well. You can only succeed to the level that you yourself believe you are capable of and worthy of. And so you do need to come over and work on that as well. I like to think of it as 2 feet. One is business and hard skills and learning and all of that. And this is the application. This is your self-worth, your self-belief, your self-understanding, your core values. We talked about core beliefs, core values, core aspirations was the third one that you were looking for earlier. With only 1 foot in place, you're going to go in circles. You're going to go in circles. You need both feet to move forward. And then vice versa too, with us over here who love the soft skills, give me all the personal development, the reading, the everything. But without these harder skills over here of business, of tech and those kind of things, I am going to go in circles. I'm not going to progress where I could progress without both. And so I deeply believe those
Yeah, and I've got to say, I see a mix of both, actually. I see people who've got really, really good hard skills and they know their stuff inside out, but they can't work out why their teams don't work for them, or why the people that they get in to help them with their business just can't help them, or not can't help them, don't help them, or why it doesn't work quite as well as they hoped it would work. And then I've got people who are really good at what I call the touchy-feely stuff. It's, how are you doing? Are you okay? But when it comes down to, okay, so how are we going to deliver this, and what are you going to price it at, and what platforms are we going to deliver it through? You get blank, or they go, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know, but I would love to show up on whatever platforms you think and talk about it and do the things, but I don't know what platforms. Even you sending me this link, I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" This isn't Zoom. This is different.
This isn't Zoom. This is different. Yeah, I get that a bit, actually. So can we talk just a little bit about the core aspirations, core beliefs, and core?
Yeah,
I've lost it again.
Values. So core beliefs, core values, core aspirations. So
Fail.
it's okay. If it were the evening for me, Charly, I kid you not, I would not be this articulate. This worked out very well because 7 a.m., absolutely, I can be here. I am a morning person. My brain's on fire in the morning. As soon as it gets close to 7 p.m. or past, it's unbelievable. You can physically watch it happen.
Look, I'm there. The sun goes down. I'm like, oh, is it bedtime?
Ooh, bedtime. I'm all about it. So, core beliefs, core values, and core aspirations. So, we deeply believe that these are pillars of self awareness and how you can succeed through what is aligned for you. So, your core beliefs are things that you not only believe about yourself, but you believe about the world. Are both of those setting you up for success in what you believe is success? Whether that be, I love the idea of success being holistic. Yes, financial success is amazing and we can do so much with it. But if you're not holistically successful, if you're wealthy but not happily in love or happy in the relationships in your life, or you are not healthy and you're struggling with your health, that's the one for me though. Because I used to be so sick, I know that if you're not healthy, you have nothing. There's nothing else that you can really pour into. And so that's a big one for me. But so what are your core beliefs about yourself? Do you believe you're capable of doing the thing? Do you believe the thing that you're running after is possible? Do you believe it's possible for you? If the answer is no to one of those things, there's some work that can be done there and needs to be done there if it's where you need to be for your goals. And your beliefs about the world, those can serve you or hinder you as well. And then core values. This one is one of my favorite things to help people with. Your core values, it's one of those things that they are what they are. And once you discover what they are, you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. So when I do this and it really fills me up and it feels so good when I partner with this person, when I do these things, it feels so good because it aligns with my core values. And when I've done these other things that I thought would be really great, really productive, make me feel really good, and I came back and they didn't feel good and I didn't understand why because they should have. Oh, it's because it wasn't in alignment with one of my core values. And so this is something that is such a powerful practice to be able to do. And it can take some time and they evolve, just like you said, we evolve in our growth. We outgrow certain things. You're not married to these per se. They do grow and evolve. But if anything, I feel like you just discover them deeper. It's more of an opposite. It's not they grow and evolve. You discover them at a deeper level and can be more concise in that. But there's like Brene Brown, for example, has a beautiful list of core values. And what you can do, depending on your personality type, you can go through and highlight which ones speak to you or highlight which ones don't. Some people work in the don't category, some people work in the do. And so if you're like me and you start highlighting the ones that do resonate with you, and all of a sudden you have 30, well, we need to narrow it down a little bit. We love 3 and 5. Those tend to be less overwhelming and still something you can stick to in 3s and 5s. 1's not enough. Anything over 5 can be too many, right? And so what I started to notice was as I was highlighting these different core values, I could group them together into more of a descriptive heading, right? So my top 3 core values are freedom, love, and growth. And so all of the ones that I was highlighting kind of fell in those 3 buckets. The 4th one, if I were to do it, is integrity, would be my 4th one. And so every time I am able to look through the lens of those core values, it helps me feel so guided and so empowered in my life and my decision making. Well, is this in alignment with one of my core values? Freedom, love, growth. Is it going to help me grow? Is it going to give me more freedom? Freedom was the first one. I mean, not only for so many reasons. I have a lot of trauma around the medical system. I have a lot of trauma around body freedom. I have a lot of desires to work for myself, obviously, run my own hours. We homeschool. Like so much of that makes sense when you look, oh, freedom is her number 1 core value. All of that puts into place, right? When it's like hindsight's 2020, right? You can see it once you see it. And so what are those for you? And then how can you build a life based on those core values? What can you do, add in to your passion, your purpose, your business, even talk about a superpower and a super secret that no, maybe not enough people are leveraging is if you're working through a space of your core values, you are going to succeed more because you're more drawn to doing those things. It actually fulfills you. It's not just about the work, it's about a piece of you that is getting fulfilled. And so if you can leverage your core values for what it is that you're doing in your version of success, that's always really exciting. So finding out your core values, find out what those mean to you, and then your core aspirations. So all of those lead into your core aspirations. What are your goals? Those big aspiring goals that you have, those aspirations for yourself, for your family, for your marriage, for whatever it is. What are your aspirations? And do those before it, your core values, your core beliefs, align with that to get you there. You need the bottom two to get to the top. It's a triangle. Core beliefs, core values, core aspirations. And so then you can look, okay, is there a core value out of alignment based with my core aspirations? Do I have a belief that is limiting on my core aspirations? Do I have the right beliefs to get to this core aspiration? And so it's a really, really beautiful framework to work through.
It's a great framework, and I really like it. And I just want to sort of hit the aspirations a little, because sometimes people think, oh, you know, it means I want to have $1 million house, or actually I'm going to have to start re-saying that, because $1 million houses are kind of every day now. Sorry, that just hit me the blue. Talk about original thoughts. A $2 million house, there we go, or a $3 million house, and a Lamborghini, and you know, the holiday home on the beach. And yeah, okay, that they could be aspirations for you, but it might also be, I want a cozy house that's tidy, that's easy to keep tidy, that's tidy and homely and warm and loving. That is a great aspiration to have.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And that's why I love leaning into what success means to you. For a lot of people, success are those financial, obvious, external results. And for some of us, it's very internal. It's very based on how we want to feel and how we want to really move through life. And I mean, all of them are okay. All of them are okay. What matters is you knowing that about yourself and owning that, right? If you want the big fancy car, that's amazing. Own it and have that be your core aspiration, guilt-free, and work towards it for sure. Do your core beliefs and core values work in alignment for that? Success, like monetary success, can be a core value. Like Kevin has a core value around money. Yeah. And
Yeah.
to own that is great. It's great. When we learn about all of these things about ourselves, it needs to be from a space of no judgment, because it doesn't serve us to be like, oh, this is how I am, and then try and stifle it, because it's always going to come out. And so when we can honor those things about ourselves, and I mean, obviously we can always shift if it doesn't feel good, but there's so much there when it comes to self-awareness. It's not about, is it right or wrong? It's, this is how it is. And how can I move forward now knowing this from this truthful space about myself? And so core aspirations, I mean, go in there judgment free. For some, it might seem small. This is Peach.
Hello, darling.
We adopted her off our back porch in a winter storm one day, and she's never left.
Oh, gorgeous. I was wondering, I hear the kitten, and I was wondering if it's the cat sitting just outside my door saying, it's time to feed me. And I thought, no, that's not mine.
She's my little office kitty. I thought I had put her out.
Thank you, Amy. You've just made my day.
Oh, good. I thought I had put her out, but here she is. And so owning your core aspirations as what they are. They can always change. They can evolve. I mean, especially when we're younger, some of us really lean into those superficial and external versions of success. And again, I don't say that in a bad way, but we evolve into, actually, I really want to be fulfilled. And what does that mean to me? Is that going to be the new car, or is that going to be a house filled with children and me being able to work from home while I have those children? How can I make that happen? All of those are versions of success, and they're all okay. So what are yours? And be okay with them. And if they are something that you deeply aspire to, then work backwards. Okay, this is my aspiration. This is my goal. Working backwards with how you can get that goal. We call it dreamlining. And there's steps to get you from stacking pebbles every day into your long-term dreamlining goals. But as far as core aspirations and just breaking it down in this more simplistic way, it's, do I believe that that is possible? Do I believe that's possible for me? Is it in alignment with my core values? Well, if one of your core values is saving the planet, but maybe the vehicle that you're looking at does not align with that, maybe there's a shift there that you'll feel more pulled to getting a more eco-friendly vehicle, just as an example. And then you're going to feel more propelled to do that because it is in alignment with your core values, and you're going to believe it's more possible and better for the world.
I like that. I do like that. And I also, it is really good that you hit about being younger, and then as it evolved, you evolve, you understand. I liked that you understand what your core values are better as you evolve. You dig down into them. They start to mean more to you. I think some of that just comes from experience as well. It's like, oh, that's what that meant.
Absolutely. It does. And that's okay. If you're in this stage of, well, I don't know enough of this yet, I don't understand what these mean for me and things, it is through experience. But if you're at an age, I mean, I think any age, it doesn't matter. You can always implement this. But if you're at an age where you're still in such an area of self-discovery, when you can do it with these even principles and intentions behind it, you're just going to excel that self-discovery too. So all of these things matter, and not putting too much weight on the fact that, oh, they have more experience than me. Well, if you are 10 years behind me and you have these mindsets that I have now, you are going to be way further ahead than me when you catch up 10 years later, way further ahead. And so just, I mean, yes, experience. Honestly, experience is everything for so much, because you're going to learn what you like and you're going to learn what you don't like. You're going to learn what serves you and what doesn't. You're going to learn what is aligned with you and what isn't. And a lot of that can just come through trial and error. And then listening. Yes. And then listening and learning from those errors. I mean, I deeply believe in that's where all the lessons are anyways. And so, yeah, learning from the errors, learning from the failures, and I mean, continuing to move forward always.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, if you will just excuse me, I'm going to do a little bit of a shout out for my community. I know you mentioned a community earlier. So being a business owner can be tough. Being a business owner who works remotely can get lonely and frustrating. That's why I created my locals community, a community for business owners that can be a bit like the water cooler of old. I want you to treat this community as a place where you not only get to interact with me, but with each other. You can gain inspiration, provide inspiration, advice, ask for help, just shoot the breeze if you need to. It's about business owners supporting business owners. So come along and join me, please. Ask charlyleetham.locals.com. I would love to have you across there. And back to us, Amy. See? Do the whole new caster thing. Back to us.
Yep. I love it. Back to you, Charly. I love it so much. And there is nothing like an aligned community. Nothing.
Absolutely. And so the other thing I'd like you to do while we're here is, why don't you tell people where they can find out about you, connect with you, find out more about what you do, and by all means, tell us about the Next Level University group as well.
Absolutely. So that is our community. It is a free community on Facebook, Next Level University. It's called Next Level Nations. The company's Next Level University. They have a daily podcast, which is so powerful for holistic learning, and just what a place of self-discovery and self-awareness. And that's how we've designed the Facebook community as well, Next Level Nation. There are posts in there every day from myself that just get you thinking about you. Some of them are really simplistic, like, do you love tacos over pizza? That was one recently. Got a lot of engagement on that one, not going to lie. And then some of them are diving deeper into more of what is your personality trait? What is fulfilling to you? We're constantly diving into helping you at least once a day tap into you and dive into self-discovery and self-awareness. And so that's the community that we have. And there is something so irreplaceable and so special about being around people who are on a similar journey to you, because even though your experiences might be different, the feelings are typically the same, of overwhelm, of unsure, of lack of clarity, of feeling lonely on an entrepreneurial journey, especially. That's a big one. And just being in a community that loves growth as much as you do. If maybe your day-to-day community does not dive into growth and learning and expanding yourself as much as you do, being in a community like yours, like the one I'm describing, is such a gift. It's so powerful to be able to be in a space like that, because you just feel so seen, heard, not alone, and a little less crazy on your journey. That I deeply find people need that space to be like, oh, people are going through this like I am. And so Next Level Nation is that space that I'm so grateful to be a part of.
It's fantastic. And that's how people can connect with you as well. I know that. Amy is in there every day. She does a fantastic job at keeping the conversations going and prompting us to give her some responses. I did like your socks and sandals one the other week. It was like, no, never socks with sandals.
No. I was surprised how many people were down with the socks and the sandals. I was like, oh, no, what a choice. Like... No judgment, love you anyways, but not my choice.
It's hilarious to me because I'm like, never. What do you mean you wear socks with sandals?
Well, especially, I mean, in Australia, I can see why that would be absolute nonsense. Here in Canada, we like to push the idea that the cold isn't quite there yet. So people will love to still wear the comfort of their sandals, but it's cold here. So they need the socks. I get it.
I get. Absolutely. Look, Amy, I've had an absolute ball today. Oh, during our call, there we go. What is the one thing out of what we've spoken about tonight, or anything that you'd like our viewers and our listeners to take away with them and really think on as they go through their day?
What is your level of self-awareness? How much do you know yourself? And how much more can you learn for the sake of what success means to you? The more you know about yourself, your core wounds, your core aspirations, your beliefs, your core values, how you work, what drives you, what fulfills you, what does passion and purpose mean to you, all of those things, again, without judgment. How can you dive into that deeper? Self-awareness is a skill that will never go out of style. It is a skill that will serve you in all of your most important endeavors, whether it be in business, relationships, fitness, anything like that. Knowing yourself, knowing where you're starting from and knowing where you're going is an absolute superpower that can empower you every day to take the actions that you need to take from a space of awareness of what that means to you, what that is most going, like how that's going to serve you most in a day. Just like taking those peaceful pauses or taking those self-awareness check-ins, those are going to look different for you than they are for me. For some people, it's a bath. For other people, they're like, ew, I'm not going to sit in my own soup, right? Everyone is different. So what is that for you? What and who are you in the space that you are moving into? And so honestly, self-awareness is the best and most worthy endeavor that you can dive into for yourself, for your business, for your holistic life.
Fantastic. I love it. Look, thank you, Amy, so much for your time. I really appreciate you getting up early to have a chat to me.
You know it.
It was very lovely of you to do it. And it's so lovely of you to share so openly of all of this information. Guys, I would really recommend getting in touch with Next Level Nation and Amy and taking your journey to the next level. Funny that, what a fun.
We're all about it. We're all about that next level pun. Yes, absolutely. Next Level Nation is a free space. I will make sure you have the link. Anyone is welcome. Anyone who is dedicated to growth, self-awareness, being in a loving and safe community. We are a very safe community. There is no bullying allowed. We have booted people before, and so it is just a very safe space. And of course, through there, you are welcome to message me anytime. I am always available to have discussions and to be an ear if someone needs, or to offer any kind of help that I can.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So guys, I hope you got a lot out of this. I know I did. Every time I hear Amy and Alan and Kevin talk, I always pick up something new to go and think about and mull over in my own little brain. And guys, I will, sorry, let me think, let me make sure I get this right. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so that you find out when I drop more content. And I will see you all next week with hopefully another interview. If not, you get me as a talking head. Thanks,
Yay.
guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, Charly.